Alright, so this is attempt number 2 of making a first videos for this channel. This is my 2014 Scion TC10 series. I'm just going to go around and just kind of talk about it a little bit. So we'll start with the front end here, and I'll work my way around, and then eventually I'll pull it in the garage here so you can actually see the lights, because it's a little bit too bright out right now for that. So starting off with the headlights, we got a set of 5000K 35 watt HIDs. I switched all of the daytime running lights over to LEDs. The blinker is still incandescent. I would like to switch it over to LEDs, but the whole flasher relay thing is preventing me from that. Anyone else who has this car would probably understand that. You can't see them right now, but there is a set of LEDs underneath here as well, kind of like the Audi strips. I'll show those later as well. Fog lights I recently put in. Those are, I'm trying to think about, I don't know how many lumens they are, but they're really bright. Thanks to the reflector housing, they're that much brighter. In fact, they are brighter than the headlights. And then we move over here, right underneath the license plate. You can see down there, I did put a light bar that I had left over from my truck when I took that off. So I decided to throw that down there because, yeah, it's a light bar. Alright, so it is the 10 series, so the badges do light up. I would like to plastic dip these, but unfortunately I haven't really gotten around to attempting that yet without messing it up, because I want to be able to still see the light, and I don't really want to mess up the badges either. Okay, move around to the sides here, still on the stock wheels. Stock suspension as well. Unfortunately, the previous owner did clip a couple curbs here on the side, so it is a little bit scratched, and the actual tire itself actually has a chip out of it, so I might look into getting those fixed at some point. I mean, of course, I'd love to have new wheels and new suspension at some point down the road here, but no idea when that's going to be. Oh, almost forgot the hood here. I wrapped the hood in carbon vinyl. Took about 2 hours to do. A little bit of a pain thanks to this huge ridge line here, which wouldn't think is so bad, but turned out to be a pain, although the curve on the whole front end here actually makes it almost worse. So, and then I did dip the front lip here, and I did kind of my own cheaper version of the easy lip kit, because 30 bucks for something that cost 15 bucks to do I thought was ridiculous. I will get an actual lip for the front end. That's probably the next thing on the list as of right now. I wrapped the mirrors. Mirrors didn't come out as nice as the hood. A little bit of some wrinkles here at the top, but it's not a huge deal. There's a pinstripe that runs along the side that was there when I got the car. Given that the 10 series is kind of has a lot of blue lights going on, I figured I'd leave that there and just stick with the blue scheme that's going on here. Windows are tinted. They're already tinted when I got the car. Wrapped side panel here in the same vinyl from before. Side skirts are plastic dipped. They need to be redone though, thanks to lots of rock chips, and I unfortunately got a little bit of wax on the back panel here, and wax and plastic didn't do anything. I'm going to move to the back here, and hopefully this wind isn't that bad. Not too much back here. I did do a custom plate frame here. See if I can get that to focus in. Can't see that too well, but I did do my own paint job on that. Just to refocus again. Alright, so I dipped the top of the lip here. This is the factory one that I came with. And then aside from that, that's pretty much it for the back end, except for this down here. My new exhaust that I just put on this over the course of the weekend. It's a J2 Engineering exhaust. I'll put a clip into that probably later in the video as well. I was going to go with the Tsudo, but I saw there's only about 2 videos on YouTube of that exhaust, and those 2 videos were enough to push me towards that one. I thought the sound was a little bit deeper and more aggressive, so I went with that. I dipped the gas door panel here. Once again, same thing with the side skirts and the mirrors, and that's about it. There's the Scion, I guess you could say windshield visor thing here. That came with the car as well. It does need to be redone. It's got a little bit of some cracks in it from winter time and stuff. So, not really a big fan of stickers and stuff, so I didn't really get involved with that at all. I'm trying to keep it pretty clean. Alright, and now I'm going to move on to the interior. Alright, so now moving on to the interior here. Interior is pretty stock. Haven't really done much in here. Floor mats are still the Scion floor mats that it came with. I did put in lights down here. You can't really see them right now. If I pull the car in later to show off the other lights, I might come back to this. That's about it. It is an automatic. I'm not going to even get into that. I've seen enough people and I know already what I'm going to hear about this, so I'm not even going to bother explaining that one because it's just excuses. It is a daily though. I will throw that in there, so it wasn't something I was looking for, and resale value is a little bit better. And that's pretty much it for the interior. Alright, so I moved back inside the garage now. It's not exactly nighttime and I didn't really feel like waiting that long. So I just moved it in here because I figured that'd be good enough to show the lights. Okay, I figured I'd show the lights individually, so start off. These are my daytime running lights. So you can see there's the strip at the top there. I'll pop the hood at the very end and turn on the shop lights so you can actually see some of my wiring and stuff, because there's a lot involved with all this stuff. That in particular is really easy, just a matter of finding a power positive and negative of the daytime running lights, and these are also color switch. So if I hit my blinkers, they will switch. I actually will do that right now real quick just to show that. So they do color switch back, which I thought was something kind of cool. Okay, and I just replaced the side markers like I said before, and the other one over there. Okay, next up I'll show the fog lights. Find the switch, there we go. Alright, so fog lights are pretty bright. They do cut off very nicely, so as much as they are obnoxiously bright, they aren't going to completely blind other people on the road, which is nice, compared to the light bar, which lights up the trees as well as the road. So that's why it's kind of nice to have both, because I've reached the point where the car is bright enough that honestly the light bar I can almost not even notice when I turn it on because everything else. So, alright, so next up I'm going to turn on my headlights. They are HIDs, so they are going to have to take a few seconds to warm up. Alright, there they are, they're warming up there. Okay, so the camera right now is picking those up as a bluish, which they do have a slight blue tinge to them, but they're pretty white. In fact, the fog lights surprisingly almost seem whiter than the actual headlights, even though those are 5000K. I don't know if you can hear in the video, but the LEDs for the fog lights have fans on them, so they're all turning on right now. So I don't want to run this too long because this will drain the living heck out of my battery. Made that mistake the other day when I put the exhaust on and decided to have music playing in the car. Went to start it up and it was dead. Alright, and very lastly is, well, I guess I'll do high beams real quick. Not that that makes much of a difference in a garage. High beams barely change anything in this car for some reason. And last is the light bar. So the light bar, you can see, does light up basically the middle part that the fog lights can't fill. So all at once down there, it is definitely a lot of light. So the camera is not, I have it on settings where it's not going to show it that bad, but in fact, this is probably the only time I've actually been able to see everything clearly on the front end of the car like this. I've tried to take pictures with all the lights direct on, and hasn't worked so well. So, and that's basically how I'm starting this out right now. I picked up the camera, picked up photography. I'll link my Instagram in the lower part of the video probably. So that's basically, I started landscaping the car, and I have the truck out the window over there that you can't see right now. So I went from that to this due to gas mileage and school, because commuting to college, well, not really commuting, but just traveling back and forth every weekend, just a lot of distance and terrible gas mileage. So, and I guess we'll pop back around to the taillights real quick. Not that there's anything special going on back there. I don't really have the space to get back there. I did swap the lights for the license plate to LEDs. And that's about it. I'm going to pop up the hood now and I'll show you the wiring and stuff we got going on under there. Alrighty, so now we are into the engine bay. I'm going to start off by saying right now, aside from the exhaust, this car has no performance mods. And I don't plan to put any, because I don't feel like shelling out $1,000 to get basically no gains. So, you know, cold air intake, maybe, just for the exhaust purposes, but, you know, and even the exhaust, I didn't get that for power gains. I just wanted a refined sound, better than what the stock was giving me. So, I mean, I did paint the covers for the headers, and I did wrap that, even though, you know, I don't know, just felt like it. But, yeah, you know, I thought about maybe getting a cover for the engine at some point, but with the numbers this car creates, you know, to me anyway, I don't see the point in it. Even if I was to really keep this car and, you know, go with the DZOD turbo kit and everything, like, they're still not producing numbers that I'd want for shelling out that kind of cash. So at this point, if I'm really going to keep this car and do that, which I have no idea right now. I mean, this car is incredibly low miles. It's in the low 20s right now still, and it is also number 5 made out of, I think, 2,500. So very low mileage on it, and it's going to stay that way because it does not get driven very long distances or anything like that anymore. So alright, so we'll start going through here now. Alright, so these are the strips here. As you can see, I put them outside the headlights. I did want to do halos. I've seen a lot of people do halos, but there's two things that turn me off from that, aside from the fact that I have to cook my headlights in the oven, that whole thing. I've had a lot of bad luck with electronics and things just not, you know, working. So if a halo fries inside, I don't want to have to deal with that. I did have one of these go on me once, and it's, once you wire them in, there's just a plug. So you see down in here, I don't know if you might be able to, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see down in there. You can see some of the wires there, the yellow wires, the part of the blinker wire for this. There's a small plug over there, so I can just take this off because it's just 3M taped down, and I can just replace it. And they were 30 bucks, so, you know, in fact, I actually had an extra, I have an extra one right now, so if one of the other one goes, I can swap them out. Seems like the company might have changed their design a little bit. This is actually the first one from the original set. I didn't change them out. Focus that a little bit. So you can see the end caps here are a little bit different than these ones, where they're more of a solid, and these ones are also glued on the end caps, so they're more, so I don't think the company claims that they're supposed to be water like resistant and all that, but this one definitely is a lot better than the other one. Alright, so yeah, so there's the wiring for those down in there. And then over here is basically just a giant mess of wiring harnesses. There's two of them, because there's one for the fog lights and one for the light bar. You can see the two positive leads running there. And there's also 3 different negatives there. One of them is for the daytime running lights. I mounted the ballasts up here. They're right there. That was the best location I felt was to put them there, and the other one's mounted right here. So I didn't feel like I'm trying to do modifications to the car that does not like jeopardize the resale. So things like 3M tape versus drilling holes is preferred. So once it's kind of the whole theme here. Plastic dip peels right off, vinyl peels right off, everything peels right off. The only thing is the exhaust, which I'll probably just sell with the car anyway, because it's not going to do me any good. Yes, that's about it. In case anyone's wondering how this is mounted, the front crash bar has 2 drainage holes. Well, there's several drainage holes actually, but I used 2 of the drainage holes, and I kind of slightly put threads on them, just enough to where the screw would bite in. And this has a, plastic piece underneath anyway, so if this thing were to fall, I'm not concerned. But this has been in here, highway, everything, rain, had 0 problems, hasn't moved at all. So it is holding on really well. So yeah, that's mounted down in there. That was a bit of a pain because you do have to, very small. I really lucked out that was the perfect length and everything for fitting in there. I did have to modify the brackets of the light bar. I had to drill them out so the screws would match up with how it sits with the crash bar. And that's pretty much it. In terms of if anyone wants a more detailed video on how some of the stuff's installed, I can get I'll hang a light here, to the really bright LED light, and we'll go more in depth into where what colors some of the different wires are that I tapped into, and how the fog lights went in, because that was a big pain. Putting them on, because I've taken this bumper off twice, once for the light bar, once for the fog lights. Bumper is a piece of cake, so if you want any help on that, just ask me. I will gladly make a video of it. It was more so a matter of getting through that firewall, because there's 3 different wires that run through the firewall for the light bar, and then I didn't have enough room for the fog light wire, so I had to make my own route through for that, and that was a pain. And then it was a matter of finding what wires to tap in here, because the kit wants the ignition wire. I could not find the ignition wire, and there's no information online that helped me out with that. So I wound up actually tapping into, I believe, the 12-volt source for the mirrors. So when the car shuts off, the light bar, well, no, not the light bar, but the fog lights will shut off. The light bar will stay on because it's connected to the battery. So I definitely have to make sure that's not on. Let's see here. Alrighty, back to that switch panel again. Probably should have filmed this outside because I had to bump up my ISO settings and stuff. But you can see there's the light bar switch. It is a little bit weird that it's always on like that, like it's lit up. So even when I press it in, it does get a little bit brighter, so I can tell the difference. But it is kind of weird that it's always on like that. And the light bar switch is right here. It actually happened to fit, once again, magically, to my luck, into the slot there. So when you turn that on, it's a little red light. And that's it. So thanks for watching the video. If you guys want to see more videos, try to make some. Most of it's going to depend on how this video does. In fact, this video has already taken so much longer than I would have liked, and God knows how long this is going to take to edit. But if I receive good feedback on the video and you guys ask questions and stuff, I will gladly make another one. So thanks for watching, and see you later.